would have been avoiding the cold weather that arrived this morning, but the good news is that's all gone away now. So the sun is shining as we build up towards the Australian Cup. 163 years of history and tradition. And Pride of Jenny, Lizzie, just adds an extra element because she challenges the other jockeys really. Challenges.
I agree with you. Birdman has definitely gone to a new level this preparation, and he deserves to be favourite here in the Group 1 Australian Cup. You're getting $3.50 currently with Sportsbet. In slightly from the $3.60 opening quote. The biggest market move here from the main players in the market is the 10, Like a Lucy, $9 into $4.60, and that price continues to trim up as we get closer to a jump. Tom Kitten there on the third line of betting as well, well supported, $4.80. Pride of Jenny is on the drift. She is $4.20 out to $8 and continuing to head out in the market. Have backed at a price as well is the 7, Mark Twain, who's only had the one run this preparation, and it was a ripper, $41 into 26.
Barking instruction, Signal racing in the Tab Australian Cup. Sabaj a touch slow and Mark Twain going back to the end. Tom Kitten fourth last out. Philia jumped well with Birdman, Like a Lucy and Light Infantry Man. Pride of Jenny out deeper on the track is putting herself in the picture. Just Fine is wider about sixth, and then came Sabaj, who's drifting back, passed by Apulia, and Tom Kitten's progressing around them. Damask Rose well back. Mark Twain second last. Basilina at the end of the field. Pride of Jenny went to the lead at the 1,500 metres by 2 lengths to Just Fine. They were followed in third, a length and a half away by Light Infantry Man and also Birdman next on the inside of Philia. They're 2 lengths in front of Tom Kitten, then Like a Lucy, a length and a half of Apulia, Damask Rose, Sabaj. 3 further back is Mark Twain, and last of all is Basilina. So past Chiquita Lodge at the 1,200 metres, and Pride of Jenny is 4 or 5 lengths in front with the choke out from Just Fine second, 3 or 4 Light Infantry Man. They were followed by Birdman, who spots Pride of Jenny about 8 lengths at this stage. Philia in fifth, about 3 lengths Tom Kitten, Like a Lucy. 3 lengths of Apulia, Damask Rose, a length and a half Sabaj a mile back, then Basilina and Mark Twain. So it's Pride of Jenny has gone fast mid to race as she likes to do. At the 650, Pride of Jenny's 5 or 6 lengths in front of Just Fine, Light Infantry Man. Birdman is sneaking ground the inside. They were followed by Philia. Further back in the field, Apulia, Damask Rose, Sabaj, and well back Mark Twain. Pride of Jenny looks down the long straight at the 400. She's 2 lengths in front of Birdman, who's about to challenge with Light Infantry Man, followed then by Like a Lucy. They've got to Pride of Jenny. Birdman, Light Infantry Man, up to Pride of Jenny, who kicks at the 200 metres. Pride of Jenny digs in, finds reserves, a length in front. Light Infantry Man looking to go back to back, coming at Pride of Jenny. Apulia late. Pride of Jenny with the heart of a lioness, coming at a Light Infantry Man. A photo finish. She may have done it. Pride of Jenny from Light Infantry Man, Apulia, then Sabaj and Birdman. Like a Lucy. Next to finish in the race, Tom Kitten, Philia, Damask Rose, Basilina and Mark Twain at the end of the field. We stand by.
No way she's done it. Can you believe it? Looked out on her feet at the top of the straight. Courage, lifts. Light Infantry Man charges at her. She sees him, fights him off with every sinew in her heart as she held on. I reckon she has.
I've got no idea.
I reckon she has. Jenny's been incredibly brave. Light Infantry Man, the defending champ. Kieran's hoping for a dead heat.
That'd be ideal. I actually don't know. I've got no idea. I actually thought Jenny got it, but looking at that.
Is it a dead heat or is he got it?
Light Infantry Man.
Light Infantry Man has defended.
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Is there a gap, Kieran? Yes, there is. Congratulations on the Quinella.
I won't be welcome at Cape Shank tonight, I know that. Thank you very much.
What a Quinella.
Oh my goodness.
That is, so you defend your title with Light Infantry Man, and Pride of Jenny was as brave as she's ever been.
She's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few horses that really enjoys racing her, and there's not many horses that do. enjoy racing her. And we were contemplating whether to run Jenny or not, you know, heavy track. She's just unbelievable horse, unbelievable. I'm so thrilled.
Yeah, she's just, as you mentioned.
And to do that at 2,000, like, yeah, she's amazing. And the winner, Light Infantry
We're
Man.
talking about the runner-up.
Yeah.
That's amazing about her.
And Light Infantry Man, he's just a beauty. Yeah, you know, he's the tougher the race, the better he goes. He's worked during the week, and then the tougher the race, the better he goes. He's quite phenomenal.
We're thrilled for you, mate.
Yeah,
We can see how much it means to you.
congratulations.
Well done.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, what a horse. What a ride. You got there.
Yeah, I'm just a bit shocked because Jenny, she's amazing, and I got on terms with her thinking I was going to beat her easily, and what a racehorse she is. She fought hard, and I actually thought that Deck may have beat me, so I've gone early with the knuckles to him, but he did say to me, if we've happened to dead heat or you beat me, you're not a bad mate to share it with. So appreciate his kind.
He was recounting to me post the Australian Cup. I don't know what it is about that race.
Yeah.
But it just tends to throw up ridiculously good finishes, doesn't it?
It was a great finish. I mean, I think the only time Light Infantry Man was in front was right on the line, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I'm out here, and this is her biggest asset, mid-race, where she starts to stretch them and get them off the bit.
So, Ollie, we're watching her so many times now. She makes every race interesting, doesn't she, the way she runs? As a jockey at this point of the race, when she's starting to stretch the field out, what do you think's going through the mind of some of the riders here in behind? Are they thinking about, well, is she going to get the trip? When do I start to, bridge the gap? What goes through your mind with riding against a horse like this?
I think the biggest danger when you're against Jenny is this big gap here.
Yes.
Because you want those horses carting you up to her, and what her biggest asset is stretching these horses, getting them off the bit, because they can make up the ground getting to her, but then they've got to find another effort to get past her. And the slowest part of this race was the last 600 metres.
well, we just showed the sectionals there. She broke 12 seconds on 6 consecutive times over that 2,000-metre race, mid-race, which is pretty incredible, isn't it?
But none of them were in the last 600. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the over-travelling with Birdman, Ollie. I backed the horse. I'm rubbing my hands still there at this point. I'm thinking he's just jogged up to them. But just explain to us, earlier in the race, you said he was just probably not getting the cover that he needed. Is this where it starts to tell?
Well, he'd been running in slower run races. He probably hadn't been into out of his comfort zone, in the hurt locker like Jenny likes to put them in. And you could see he ranged up to it but couldn't go on with it. And Light Infantry Man, who likes a fast run race, he was tough and he was able to just stay in touch with Jenny. And he looked like he was struggling to get her, but just right on the line, he put his head down.
I still thought she'd won. I
So did
I thought she'd won on the line, and it was literally just that last race. How it is from a sectional point of view when Pride of Jenny is in it. What's it actually like when you're riding in it?
Well, yeah, early the pressure was intense to get our spots, so I had to do a bit of work. And then throughout the middle stages, I was starting to find myself in a good rhythm. But most of the time when you're in a good rhythm, you're able to travel, and I was noticing that you sort of just feel like you're at your top, and you can feel your horses sort of getting dragged out of their zone to travel and finish off. So that's sort of what was happening. But I did have it drilled into me by Karen that if that was going on, my fella would thrive, and to not panic and to be brave and to back in the horse. I sort of learnt that he just doesn't quicken. He's just got this one speed, and he's ultra tough, and he has great stamina, and he can sustain a solid gallop for a long way. So did allow me to get a feel that he has no turn of foot, and he can sustain a solid gallop for a long way, hence why probably 2 real high-pressure events, the last 2 Australian Cups, he's been able to win.
I believe Ethan...
so long, and by the time we'd sort of both calmed down and we're walking along next to Charlotte, it started to become more and more likely that we may have dead heated, because we're unaware of what the photo looks like or what's going on, and we were sort of just going on what Charlotte said, and she was saying to us, it's taken a long time, guys. This must be a dead heat. You know, how amazing will this be around each other? And then all of a sudden the number went up and Deck had to trot off and yell out, well done to me. So,
well, Kieran summed it up. A few of the beaten brigade. Obviously, we've spoken about Pride of Jenny. I think maybe the plan is for both Light Infantryman and Jenny to go to a Queen Elizabeth. Now, that'd be outstanding if we got them taking on Autumn Glow, Dubai Honour as well, and it would certainly make it an intriguingly run race.
Yeah, why not? They're both coming off two very tough, hard-run races there, so you wouldn't...
It's a bit later on, but, gee, that's some sort of race then if they all head there.
Yeah, I don't think there was any excuses for the Beaten Brigade. I know there's a couple that said maybe they didn't handle the track as well, but it was basically she broke their hearts.
Yeah, you could see a pulley here.
She's just an incredible racehorse. And I think watching it in the stands yesterday, there were a lot of punters on Birdman. When he was beaten, the tone just changed to, come on, Jenny, come on, Jenny. Like, everybody wanted to see her get the job done. I can't remember too many horses as tough as her.
No, it was insane.
Here, so Cora is still your favourite, albeit just getting out of touch soft late now and isn't best backed. He's second best backed, so has been 280 to 310. Open 230. Storm Leopard is the one that they've really come for here. 35% of the money was $11 on opening, 5 now into 4 is best backed. Shangri-La Boy just
racing, and O'Shamus off the inside jumped well with Cora, and there's Shangri-La Boy mustering. Together with Brave Dancer on the outside, summing up the situation. Not too far away is Storm Leopard, who's poking through the middle. Further back to Think It's You from Decalogue, then Eureka Rebel Varjack, and a Gap 2 designation, and Pinot Nero. Still a Shangri-La Boy third up today, and there's a long leader heading down the back by Falling Sadakura. Something's going to miss there, and Nash is easing the colt out of the race. The favourite being eased out, Akura. O'Shamus goes to a clear second, 5 off the lead. Brave Dancer to third. Storm Leopard is in fourth position. Think It's You was just pushing through underneath it there, but couldn't hold the spot. Further back to Decalogue, and a gap further back to Eureka Jewel Varjack, and a good gap to Pinot Nero and designation. And if you're just tuning in, Akura's going to miss and has been retired from the race. Shangri-La Boy's gone further in front of the Tulloch Stakes. 600 to go. Shangri-La Boy by 6. Can he keep up the gallop? Moving to second, Storm Leopard is trucking along at the moment. O'Shamus under the pump from Decalogue, and Brave Dancer dropping out of it. Shangri-La Boy, Hieronymus said, catch me if you can. Storm Leopard trying to achieve that, and he's heading top gear now. Storm Leopard 2 to his 1 of Shangri-La Boy. A good gap back to Decalogue, Think It's You, and then came Eureka Rebel, but Storm Leopard has charged to the front inside the 175. The Tulloch Stakes is all over. Eureka Rebel's going to run a clear second, but Storm Leopard is eased right down by Berry. Won the Tulloch by 2. Eureka Rebel second. Shangri-La Boy in a photo for third with the maiden Decalogue. Then designation, Think It's You, Varjack. Good gap back to O'Shamus from Pinot Nero. Brave Dancer was gone a long, long way from home, and unfortunately Akura was retired from the race inside the 1,000 metres, and Nash is over there attending to his colt.
Well, our thoughts are with everyone involved with Akura. Let us hope he is okay. But let's concentrate on the winner and the rise as a stallion of Gaiath. Can he produce a stayer? Here's the son of Gaiath called Storm Leopard, who put the writing on the wall with a really good run in the Vobis Guineas when he flashed.
Could these horses be the ones you want to follow coming to the Derby? Obviously, it's not the A set of form. It's normally coming through the Guineas and those types of races. But Storm Leopard, gee, was strong, Ollie. Had a chat to Ben Willis this morning from My Racehorse. Well done to the team. Another potential Group 1 winner. I think it's about $45,000 they have to pay a late entry fee. They're going to have a look at the horse this morning and see if it pulls up well. You'd have a crack, wouldn't you, Ollie?
I'd be very seriously considering. He's into third favourite. Yep. Horses in the Tulloch have got a great record in the Derby. And he backed up that... He was probably the...
Home, just get your phone out, scan that QR code. With thanks to My Racehorse, you too can have a look at the details there. So, genuine Derby contender?
I think so, and another one for Gaiath with a lot of ability. Yeah. So, you know, that stallion's doing a great job. Let's hope the first two go for
win. So she's the Yulong filly who comes over after winning the New Zealand Oaks at her last start. This is all in her first preparation, keeping in mind she's dropping back from the 24 to the 2000 today. She's in the right stable to do so. But hearing from James during the week gave a similar feel to a filly that he knows well in Orchestral.
Yeah, look, she's...
Group 1 time, it's the Vinery Stud Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies over the 2000, and some trainers looking to...
About that Kiwi filly, Oh Hope Bay wins, and she's very popular. 60% of the money. We're keen to take her on To a certain extent. As such, she got out to 290 and that really dangled the carrot because she's back into 250 now. There's not a great deal of money for any others. Salty Pearl, who beat the previous winner, has been a firmer since that. So 380 into 350. Then we have Belcheval, pretty solid on the third line at 420. Panova is a drifter.
Stakes, the gates are back and Belcheval has jumped out really well with Stand My Ground. After Summer, and I hope he wins, is having a bit of a look wide out. Long Legs is right there. Now McDonald's coming across, looking to drop in for cover, and I hope he wins and has achieved that. Panova had to snatch up behind. Celestial Award goes up the fence. And last of all is Aisle 2. 1,200 metres to run. Stand My Ground by a length and a quarter. On After Summer, then Belcheval. A length further back, then to Salty Pearl. They're followed then by Long Legs on the inside of I Hope He Wins. 2 further back to Celestial Award on the inside of Panova. And Aisle 2 is last of all. They race towards the 900 metres. Stand My Ground maintains the lead by a length and a half on After Summer. Then came Belcheval travelling nicely in third, a half the outside to Salty Pearl. 2 further back to Long Legs. And McDonald's got I Hope He Wins under a double grip at this point as they approach the home corner now. Panova right on her coattails, followed by Celestial Award. And still last of all is Aisle 2. He starts his run at I Hope He Wins. Stand My Ground leads approaching the turn from After Summer. Belcheval's travelling strongly behind. Zach Lloyd taking the gap now. Salty Pearl, and now I Hope He Wins in the white blinkers is hooking to the outside. Stand My Ground being tackled by Belcheval. Salty Pearl is chiming in. I Hope He Wins still third, 2 lengths further back. It's Belcheval wandering under pressure from Salty Pearl. I Hope He Wins hasn't got there yet. It's Belcheval, Salty Pearl. Belcheval, Salty Pearl. After Summer through the middle, but Belcheval. Oh, this is close. Belcheval was fighting hard, and After Summer's dropped its nose down. Salty Pearl third. I Hope He Wins on the outside, and a photo for fourth with Stand My Ground, then Long Legs. Good margin.
This is close because right on the line, After Summer's made it really, really close. The photo will be fascinating. Belcheval looks home. Zach's done all the work. It was wayward. And then late, Billy Egan's lifted After Summer and might have just missed. Might have just missed on the line. Belcheval, ooh, on that angle will get there. Your gut feel is Belcheval, who was just beaten by Well Written, will win the Group 1. That, Katie, she's always showed the ability. The filly by Savabeel got up to the 2,000 metre today and she's lasted.
Did a good job, didn't she? She's got a short, sharp sprint on her, and Zach Lloyd rode her so well. It was just worked out beautifully, out of his skin at the moment. He's really rising fast as we go back and really ducked underneath Zach just here. And yeah, he really had to swap the Persuader over, and she didn't want to go straight at all. So he did a great job just to try and keep her nice and balanced. I'm sure After Summer will...
Had to withstand a protest. Zach Lloyd's going to join us in a moment. I'll be fascinated to get his thoughts here, Ollie. But she was a bit wayward in the straight, but she just held on.
Yeah, she was. She had a perfect draw, perfect run. I felt I Hope I Wins raced a little keen in the early stages in the blinkers. I'll be interested to see going forward whether they stay on or come off. But you could see that the Victorian filly of Dom Sutton's there make a real dive late. I just think if I was Billy Egan there, I would have made more of that when the winner
put a bit of
shifted
mayo
out
on
there.
it.
Absolutely, because I reckon that could have made a difference in the protest result.
The visual from what the stewards had to say. Did you agree with the stewards dismissing the protest?
Well, I saved on the winner, Michael, so it was my only hope. I had to, I was in full agreement. I thought it was a great decision.
No interest like self-interest.
I think that track played yesterday. It looked like you really wanted to be in the right spot. You had good draws. You were able to put your horses in perfect positions there yesterday. Was there a kind of, that 3 or 4 off the rail and just getting that nice run behind the leaders seemed to be the place to be there yesterday?
Yeah, hey, Ollie. Yeah, I thought I walked the track pre-meeting and to my discretion, I thought the inside lanes weren't as superior just from all the racing we've been having on the track. But then again, it's a fine line because it's Rose Hill. So in running, I've always been told by all the greats before me, like Beedman and John O'Shea is very adamant that you don't want to be any wider than 2 off. And you want to try to be cut in the corner at Rosehill. So it was a bit of a fine line of riding the gaps when I needed to.
Belchevelle's going to go for a spell now, Zach. Good day for Mark Walker. He won a Group 1 in New Zealand as well. But were you surprised that the Victorian filly, after summer, got so close to you? It looked like you had her on toast on the bend.
Yeah, well, after the line, I looked at Billy Egan. I said, how are you here? Because I thought I just manoeuvred him out the way and he was going to drop back and run near the back of the field. So credit to that horse. It just probably hit a flat spot going Sydney way first time. I do think my mare wasn't at her best. I do think if she had shown her turn of foot that she had in New Zealand, she probably beats that field by 2 or 3 lengths. But maybe the 2000 just stretched her, but she done enough to win. So
this stage, there's not a great deal of support for any other runners around her. Second best backed is actually Verona Rose with 15% on the third line. So you've got Modella on the second line at 6, who's remained relatively unchanged. Idle Flyer in from 360 at 240 there. You've got Verona Rose, who I touched on last couple. So relatively quiet outside of your well-fancied favourite here. Idle Flyer, what do you really... Oh, it's Idle Flyer, Richo. This has been a really good firm. So 360 on opening, 250 this morning, now into $1.95. That's a good go.
Hit the button. Go, does so now. They're off. Snow in May was a bit tardy up. Perfumist and Jewelleries have jumped well. Sunset Park is mustering and Dark Glitter going forward out wide. Then Blinded by the Light and the favourite Idle Flyer opening 6th early in the white cap. Clear from Shahisha. Then came Churchill's Choice. Verona Rose caught out wide going forward. Adela taken back. Snow in May goes up the fence. And Firestorm's going to settle last. Perfumist got the front. Out by a length and a half to Dark Glitter. Sunset Park with a trail in third. 2 lengths further back to Jewelleries on the outside are Blinded by the Light. Verona Rose not having much luck on a 3-wide path. Around Idle Flyer, Shahisha down on the rails. Further back to Modella. Then came Snow in May. It gives away a big start with Churchill's Choice and 2 lengths away to Firestorm. Edge Perfumist on top of the 750 by a length on Dark Glitter. Sunset Park tucked away on the rails. 2 further back. Blinded by the Light on the inside of Jewelleries and Verona Rose is creeping closer. Further back to Idle Flyer, just strung up between runners. Modella the outside, Shahisha the inside. Head of the straight now, and Perfumist has gone full bore from Dark Glitter, Sunset Park. Blinded by the Light. Now Idle Flyer's in a tricky position. Jewelleries are trying to keep it in, but Zach Lloyd's out now. Here comes Idle Flyer. Modella down the outside. Blinded by the Light being tackled by Idle Flyer the outside. Then came Shahisha. It's Idle Flyer and Blinded by the Light. Idle Flyer pushed out by Lloyd and won the Emancipation. A half length to Blinded by the Light. Firestorm's made up many lengths to run third. Snow in May ditto. Further back to Shahisha. They beat off Perfumer, Sunset Park, Dark Glitter, Churchill's Choice. Modella did it tough from Jewelleries, and Verona Rose after the wide trip dropped out of it.
What a day for Zach Lloyd. He combines with Matthew Smith to win the Emancipation Stakes just after winning his Group 1 in the Vinery Stud Stakes, and Idle Flyer superb there. Blinded by the Light runs second, Firestorm runs third.
For a little while, but you managed to get out and get home.
Yeah, she's a beauty, Idle Flyer. She's been a very good mare to me, and she just I didn't want to be on the speed because I thought all my dangers would be behind me. I didn't want to inject any more tempo than I needed to with my mare only being second up. And unfortunately, I was in that spot where I had a horse 3 wide, right outside me, making my life just a bit squishy. And my mare, she was
Light infantryman as we gear up for our next Group 1, the Tancred.
Yeah, and what a Group 1 we have in store. Of course, we've got Dubai Honour trying to go back-to-back, and it's so hard to do. Only the immortals like Tie the Knot and Octagonal have done it, and they're both in the Hall of Fame. We've got Aliana, who was brilliant last week, trying to back up in 1 week and win it after her Ran Vet win. Piggyback, well, have a look how good he is here in Sydney. He is the conqueror. Dave, of course, won the 2 Queen Elizabeths with
great deal of support here, 60% of the hold. She's just getting out of touch now to $1.90 from $1.80 this morning, but by far and away best backed. Then you see Dubai Honour, who's been a firm. You went and caught up with him before, Katie. He looks like an absolute angel. He's been $3.40 into $3, 25% of the money invested on him. Vauban has just been late here, albeit Aliana has the weight of money. Dubai Honor has firmed from $3.40 into $2.90. Izzy Paul.
And the gates open. They're racing. Dubai took a bit of a left-hand turn out of the gates and is staying well away from the others. River of Stars has jumped well. Vauban right there. Aliana is poking forward in the middle, and Dubai Honor. Marquand staying many horses off the fence, and he's rolling forward on Dubai Honor. He's going to take him to the front. And Aliana's up there running second in the early part. River of Stars down on the fence, and Vauban in fourth. And now allows Aliana to cross in front of him. Zaria is three back the fence and the white cap, followed by... And Piggy back is the last one. That 7 lengths covers the field at the 1,400 metres. And Dubai Honor, this lover of Sydney, is in front comfortably here from Aliana. Then River of Stars, 1.5 lengths, maybe 2 now to Vauban. Followed by Zaria from Soul of Spain, relaxed on a long rein. Further back to Valiant King, and Piggy back is still the last one. No change to the order as they stretch out down the back. And Dubai Honor looking to go back to back here in the Tancred, out by 1.5 lengths to Aliana. So McDonald certainly keeping tabs here with the overseas champ. Followed by River of Stars and Vauban in fourth position. Then Zaria back on the fence from Soul of Spain, Valiant King and Piggybacks last of all. They roll towards the 750 metres, and Dubai Honor keeps up the gallop. Just being ridden along a little bit by Marquand, and he's really upping the ante now. It's Dubai Honor by 2.5 to Aliana. River of Stars is under the pump, and Vauban as well as they travel to the turn. And Dubai Honor extends the lead. He's 3 in front. Now McDonald has to get really busy on the mare Aliana as they straighten up, and Dubai Honor swings with a 4-length lead. Aliana's got the job. She's 3 lengths away. She's not shirking the task. Dubai Honor starting to drift a bit under pressure. He's still 2.5 clear from Aliana, and then Vauban going to clear third. It's game on at the 100. Dubai Honor 1.5 lengths. Aliana is knuckling down. Dubai Honor, Aliana, lunge, got there. Oh, the Group 1 double in a week. What a mighty performance, the mare. Aliana gunned down Dubai Honor. They gap Vauban, then River of Stars, Soul of Spain, Piggyback, Valiant King. At last end was Zaria. She's all heart.
2 championship weight for age races produced 2 thrilling finishes, and Aliana, this super filly who won a derby, who's become a 4-year-old mare, who's won a Tancred, runs down the old marvel that is Dubai Honor, who just grows a leg in Australia. Vauban runs third, River of Stars runs fourth. Katie, your talented husband wins another one, but what we've seen is weight for age racing at its best.
Unbelievable performance from Aliana and Dubai Honor. I must say, I take my hat off to Tom Marquand. That ride was sensational. It was nearly... And look at the old boy rolling around the way he was. He just grows another leg here. But I take my hat off to Aliana. I honestly thought Dubai Honor had it absolutely won. Tom had ridden in just the perfect race. But, gee, just... Chris Waller-Polish and James McDonald did such a great job, and Emma's catching up with Chris.
Haggis horse, when they're being set for a race, as Mr. Haggis does, and he shows us what training's all about when he comes down here. So we knew we had to be on top of him. But full credit to Aliana, she's a proper horse. She puts herself in the race. Never let Dubai Honor get out of our sights, and he through the task at the 600 metre mark, probably a little bit earlier than what we would like, but James just cuddled her, and yeah, fortunately she was just strong to the line, and we just got there.
Tom Marquand, Dubai Honor.
We thought we'd try something different today, and just we kind of knew what would happen if we just sat and did what we normally do. So look, tried it, it nearly worked. The filly's very good. She ran him down and probably had no right to, really.
And just as epic as the finish was in the Australian Cup, the finish of the Tancred was a last man standing or last female standing affair, with Aliana chasing down Dubai Honor. Ollie, I loved this race. It was another one of those exciting early moves that really set this finish up.
It was a bold ride by Tom Marquand, wasn't he? Took him to the front, set him for home pretty early, around the 800 metre mark. I was thinking it was a well-executed ride, but I just think if Tom had waited another 100 metres, he probably would have pulled it off.
Really, really good finish. I think the biggest roar that I heard at Flemington yesterday was for Aliana winning this race. The punters were right around her. It was that point of the day where maybe a few favourites had been turned over. They needed a result and they roared her home. And it was a terrific win.
What a horse Dubai Honour has been. And what about what Willie Haggis does with this horse? He travels all around the world. In Australia, he's had 5 starts. He's won the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth, the Ranvet and the Tancred. And the other 2 starts, he's finished second in the Queen Elizabeth and the Tancred. And we'll get to see him in another QE as well.
Yeah, he's a tough stayer, isn't he? He can do it around the world. I mean, not an easy task to come from the other side of the world and perform at the highest level. Yeah.
I thought it was fascinating, the post-race interview with James McDonald as well, and how he rode Aliana. I want to ask you about this, Ollie. Have a listen to what J-Mac had to say.
Be pretty patient on her because I learned a bit on her the other day, and I wanted to learn from what I felt the other day. And I thought, even though it wasn't ideal letting them get so far in front, I had confidence that the mare would pick up. Once she balances up, and then she'll find. Where last time Nash rode a terrific race and had me a little bit disorganised, and I didn't want that to happen today. So for me to chase him a long way from home was, I thought, detrimental to my chances of winning, and it could have worked out either way, to be fair. But lucky we were on a superior horse, and credit to the runner-up, he gave us one hell of a fright.
It's always the best, isn't he? Always learning, always thinking. I didn't even contemplate that type of change of style or tactic until he mentioned it post-race.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's sometimes difficult for punters to understand and jockeys to articulate. You know, when you see someone go for home like Tom Marquand did so far from home there, and you could see Aliana get left behind, and you're probably thinking, get going. But if you push your horse before it's ready to go and it's not comfortable with that transition, you've got to let them build and get through their gears. And when you do that, you can see that they're going to be strong at the end. You know, if you try and push them when they're not ready to go, they can get disorganised and lose their action. If you help them through that flat spot, and then they can be really strong in the end like Aliana was there yesterday.
She's done a big job, Sharky, backing up 7 days in a row. I think it's highly unlikely she'll go to a Queen Elizabeth now.
Yeah, it would be unlikely, wouldn't it? Watching her yesterday in the yard as well, she seems to have thickened up a little from the spring, which probably gave them that opportunity to back up and be confident. That she'd be silly to sort of say it perhaps, but I think the best is ahead of her.
Well, Chris Waller said that post-race. She's got another couple of years. She's not going anywhere, so she'll be back in Melbourne in the spring, and another big race could be in store.
Our biggest stand of the day, and it's been dire so far. We've got a stack of multis rolling through as well. This is Sepples, who's been best backed here, one of the best backed runners of the day, 60% of the money, 3 into 270. And well-backed, certainly in his own right, but the multis are a big liability here. And Zusho on the second line is at 5. After opening 8, then we have Wellwall, who's been a firm. 26, 14 this morning, now 9. 11 about Walsherford, Lord Pelham. So Sepples, our biggest loser, possible loser of the day here with the multis.
Doncaster Prelude. Seapole's pretty short odds now. Gates are back and they're off and racing. Ducasse jumped well with Sandpaper and Robusto. Now Seapoles is rolling forward. Globe out very deep. Ducasse right behind with Feroce. They're followed after a couple of lengths then to Wellwall. 2 further back to Kovalika and Shido. And Waterford's going to settle last of all. Sandpaper showed good zip and Sandpaper takes the lead. Globe moves up on the outside. Robusto's having a poke forward as well, going to the 1,000 metres. They're followed by Feroce. Plonks 4th on the inside of the favourite Seapoles. So Berry's got the favourite into a prime position early. 2 further back to Lord Penman on the inside of Ducasse. A length into Wellwall and Shido's third last from Kovalika and Waterford last of all. Inside the 800, Sandpaper a 2-length leader. Globe under a bit of pressure already now. Globe really under the pump, followed by Feroce. Then came Robusto. Lord Penman back on the inside as Seapoles. Then came Ducasse from Wellwall, and Shido's pulling right to the outside as they turn, and Sandpaper's opened up, giving them something to chase. It's Sandpaper about 5 in front to Feroce. Lord Penman working into the clear. Robusto's had enough. Wellwall running running on, and Sea Paul's as well, two further back to Ducasse. Sandpaper's all out. Here they come, and Wall moved up on the outside. Wall takes the lead. Lord Penman's had enough then for Roche. Sea Paul's not in the hunt, but Wall's drawing clear. What a day for Zach Lloyd, a four-timer. Wall brains them here in the Doncaster Prelude. For Roche second, not sure third. Lord Penman and Kovalika thundering home on the inside. Then Ducasse from Sandpaper. Sea Paul's every hope. Big disappointment today. Then Waterford and Shudo didn't pick up a yard in the straight. Globe was gone a long way out, and Robusto as well.
Yes, Darren Flindell, he is having a day out. Zach Lloyd, a Group 1 to add to his 4 winners for the afternoon. Weewell, who's done a terrific job, looked as though he joined in at the top of the straight and was able to find the line so strongly. Feroce's hit the line nicely under Billy Egan. I feel for him. He's had a few seconds today, one in a Group 1 and one in the Emancipation, and now in the Doncaster Prelude. Lord Penman ran well.
Michael Kent Jr., Sharky, who had another Sydney winner.
Yeah, it was. Their team up there is going really well, and Mick and Michael post that slipper paid tribute to Ben Elam and his work up there, getting this team really humming. Wellwell's a very consistent horse, probably doesn't land as many winning punches as his connections would like, but this was arguably his best win, I thought. A terrific effort, and great for Zach to get another one for the stable. As Mick said a week ago, wasn't too long ago, he probably struggled to pick Zach out of a lineup. I reckon he's going to bed seeing his face in his dreams at the moment. He just keeps winning for them.
Unfortunately,
Marato, which opened $2.80, got to $3.80, and the punters are starting to pile in late here. It's into $3.10. Profoundly's clearly best back to beat it. Been a bit of a tip around for it all week. It's $15 for the Oaks, 8 into 5 to win the tab. Adrian Knox. Classic.
The fillies are ready now for the Adrian Knox. Stand by for a break, and they're off and racing, and Transend got out of the gate quite well. Together we Burn the Sky rolling forward, and Profoundly right up there as well. Washington Lilac improved the outside. Together with So Duro's pretty deep. Feminino is the widest runner, and going forward in front of Spicy Lou improves. Now the favourite Silverado about midfield, and trying to get in one off the fence. Clear then from Shadow of Light in the early stages. Builders well strung out going down the back. And Lloyd got the front here on So Duro, and Feminino gets the spot outside. Washington Lilac leaders back tugging along, and Spicy Lou is now fourth, one out, one back. Transend is fifth position on the rails on the inside of Burn the Sky. Then Profoundly on the inside of the favourite Silverado. Further back then to Shadow of Light is a bit keen on the inside of Mountain Queen. The back in the field is Classic Gem, who's covering a bit of ground. Lamorrigan onto its back. Further back to Satano Invader. Then came Queen of Clubs, Listen Sweetheart. And Luna Bay last about 14 off the lead. So Duro neck in front, 800 to go. From Feminino, length and a half to Washington Lilac, just plonked out on the inside of Spicy Lou. Then Burn the Sky on the outside of Transend. Silverado Profoundly and Classic Gem will have to sit 3 wide the trip to break her maiden status. Coming to the turn, So Duro, a narrow leader, really being shoved along now from Feminino, Spicy Lou. Their fellow going around the field to Silverado. Put Burn the Sky in a pocket. Transender slicing through the pack, and Profoundly's coming down the outside. Silverado takes the lead now inside the 200. Profoundly's going after it strongly. It's Silverado, the inside of Profoundly. They're well clear from the rest, but Profoundly gets the upper hand inside the 75, and Profoundly pushed right out by Berry. Goes on for a 2-length victory over Silverado. A gap back to Satano Invader, a clear third. Lamorra running on. Further back to Classic Gem. That's been a decent effort from Transcend, Spicy Lou, Mountain Queen, Luna Bay, Feminino, Queen of Clubs, So Duro, Listen Sweetheart, Washington Lilac. Further back to Shadow of Light and Burn the Sky.
Here is a staying filly of the future in Profoundly for Michael Freedman. Great ride by Tommy Berry to be able to park her midfield on the fence, peel out on the turn and rattle home just like she did in the Kembla Grange Classic.
She found a really nice spot in transit, and they rolled along nicely at nice sectionals, but you could just see her.
Thank you very much, Em. Yes, Stuart Keebo had been favoured all week for this race, but now the punters are just starting to steer towards Travolta for Chris Waller and James McDonald, having opened $5.50. There it is now, $3.50. Duakebo, $4.60 into $3.50, back to $3.70. Campbell-Dino, it's a joint second favourite for the Sydney Cup next week. Soft in the market here, $4.60 out to $7. New look, a good run last start at odds, 11 into $9.50, as was Tara Mansour. Been trading between...
The race and the gates are back. Tempesty's pretty tardy out, and New Look settles back in the field. Athabascan jump well together with Campbell-Dino. Changing of the guard is probing through along the rails, and Juakibo going forward for an early look. The Irish mare, Shorelin, pretty handy from Tara Mansour, the rails, and New Look between the pair. Further back to Age of Sail in a wide position. Tempesty the fence, Palmetto, and Travolta was snagged back to last. Changing of the guard, Jason Collett's going to lead, and it's a much easier lead today for Changing of the guard from the good gate. Out by 2 and Athabascan, Juakibo the outside working over. Tara Mansour's taken up 4th position, Campbell-Dino it's outside. Then New Look from Shorelin. Of all the other favourites up running second. 1,400 to go. Changing of the guard rolling by a length and a half. Juakibo and Age of Sail just continues to creep a bit closer the outside. Athabascan 4th on the rails, 3/4 to Campbell-Dino. Then came Tara Mansour from Shorelin the udder. New Look back on the inside of Palmetto. And the last two, still Tempesty and Travolta. No change to the order, but they're taking slightly closer order at this point. Changing of the guard now, neck in front. Age of Sail did plenty of work and finally got the spot outside the leader. Followed then by Juakibo, who's got a back to follow now on the outside of Athabascan. Then Campbell-Dino just shading Tara Mansour. Shorelin, New Look, Palmetto, Tempesty, Travolta last of all. Still no change to the action, and they've got 700 metres to go now. And Changing of the guard, just being nudged along a bit by Collett, building up the res from Age of Sail. 2 further back on the inside, Athabascan from Juakibo. Campbell-Dino pulling out. Tara Mansour's coming off the fence, looking for running as they turn into the straight now. Changing of the guard just in front from Age of Sail. Athabascan up the rails. Campbell-Dino, Juakibo letting down together, and further back to New Look. 2 further back to Travolta. Campbell-Dino moved up, took the lead from New Look, breathing down its neck. New Look serves it up to Campbell-Dino. They beat off Juakibo. New Look and Campbell-Dino. New Look the outside, getting the upper hand now, and New Look pulling away from Campbell-Dino. Juakibo third. Tara Mansour got going late, very late. Then Athabascan, Travolta making some headway. Further back to Age of Sail, Tempesty, Changing of the guard, Palmetto, and a gap back to Shorelin.
Rachel King with a stakes double to start the day, which is exactly what she'll want heading into the big Group 1 book of rides. You take a look at this guy's heavy form, and it is impeccable.
Yeah, and both of the first two, Campbell-Dino as well, nearly unbeaten on a heavy track, so they pulled away from them in the end. 53 kilos on his back, and Rach, isn't she riding up a storm? Of course, only 2 jockeys have 4 Group 1 rides, including Rachel today, and she'll be doing the rain dance because Marzu is a wet tracker too in the TJ.
We're just having a look at the way she...
We've got ahead here at Randwick. The top 2 in the market here come out of the Randwick Guineas, and they were joint favourites on Wednesday, but the market and the punters clearly getting stuck into Providence now. It's into $4.20, whereas Rivellino's gone the other way out to $6. Aerodrome's been popular. Autumn Break's an interesting one. They wanted to go to the Country Championships final. They're having a crack here, 15 into $8 from Wednesday to now. At odds, there's been nibbles for Picta and Kilman, the roughie in the field here as well. What are you really gambling with?
There's the light. Ready now in the Carbine Club, race 4. Go. Racing in the Carbine, and Aerodrome jumps sharply off the inside. The favourite Providence away well. Together with Kilman going forward and Wester Swindon. Our pretty deep Agent Zero there, followed by Autumn Break, Martius, then Pictor, Papa Blue. Monopolistic goes back from Olympian, and Rivellino's last of all. Kilman a bit of a surprise leader, just looking to cross Aerodrome the inside, and Providence coming over from the other. Blue Olympian, Monopolistic, and Rivellino is the last one. Only about 7 or 8 lengths covers the field, and Kilman going well at big odds. Leads by 3/4 to Providence, followed by Agent Zero, 3 wide and third. Aerodrome fourth the rails from Wester Swindon, and Autumn Break has a back to follow in a 3 wide position. Papa Blue takes off from back in the field. Martius down on the fence from Picta. Then a line of 3. Olympian, Monopolistic strung up. Rivellino the outside. Even more tightly bunched now coming around the turn. Kilman in front from Providence. Agent Zero, Autumn Break. Aerodrome taking a rails run. Wester Swindon behind them. Martius going up the inside. 300 to go. Providence moves up on the outside of Kilman. 2 further back to Autumn Break. Martius making some ground. Olympian from further back. It's Kilman, Providence. Kilman fighting hard. Martius taking a rails run. Kilman in front. Now Autumn Break starting to lengthen hard the outside. Kilman and Autumn Break. They hit the line. Photo finish. Kilman was kicking hard. Maybe a nose to Autumn Break. Marty is flushing home together with Olympian. Further back to Pictor, West of Swindon, Providence dropped out. Further back, Papa Blue from Riverina, Monopolistic Agent Zero. Aerodrome Weekend right out. Tight one here. Very tight.
Versus Chris Waller. Kim Davison, who hasn't had a Metro winner, versus Chris Waller with a bob at the head. It did look like Kilman might have just hung on. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the bob. Has Kim Davison got up for his very first Metro winner? Yes, you betcha. Hey, how's that? When did you win your first Metro winner and who did you beat?
I know, Bruce. Wow. Well, you know what? He does such a good job down at Albury, and he's got a small team of horses, and of course he's got another good one in Autumn Break, and a good ride there from Sam Clipperton, and got the nose down where it counted.
He certainly did. Heads up, heads down. This is the David and Goliath moment, Bruce, when you look at Chris Waller with all those championship victories next to his name, and Kim Davison just not even having a Metro winner. It just shows you, this to me, Bruce, is what racing is all about. This is the fairy tales that we look to see.
Couldn't agree more, Lizzie and Katie. And what
up, and you know, we're hoping this horse got in the next race, but you know, it's not a bad consolation, that's for sure.
Oh, it's an incredible consolation, isn't it? So this would actually, you know,
that on this massive day, winning the Carbine Club 7-12, 3-14, and for Sam Clipperton, she's an alibi for Jamie in the Doncaster, Tentyrus for Ethan in the TJ Smith, and Observer for J Mac in the Derby. And Streisand is on.
Absolutely cannot miss it. The track is certainly deteriorating. The Bureau got it completely wrong. And from Richo, get down and do 20 push-ups.
Jared, the market from Tab for the Sires.
Well, Bruce, the top two in the market here occupy 70% of the hold in the fixed odds win bets with Tab. It's been clearly the punters' picks all week, either in the Streisand or the Campione d'Italia corner. Oh, again, it's a battle for favouritism. They've switched a couple of times in the last 10 minutes. Streisand holding the call as we speak, but it is very tight as far as the hold between the two. Tornado Valley, second in the Magic Millions in January. It's been a firmer. $15 on Wednesday, now $9.50. Paradoxium is absolutely friendless. It's been 8 out to $11. Zambales there's money each way for Alibaba, but Tabby's happy to lay him as he's been.
Ready to go. Gates are back. They're off and racing. And Roccini hopped out of the gate brilliantly from the wide draw. Paradoxium going out with it. Outspanners swiftly into stride going to third, and Streisand right there on the rails in fourth. Then there's a mob of horses moving forward. Dr. Hook with Zambales, Tornado Valley. Then Rich on Bubbles. Fireball being taken back from Alibaba. Now the favourite there, Campione d'Italia, is back third last in the field, followed by Miss Chanel on the outside of Am I Dreaming. They sort their order out, and Roccini goes to the front clearly by length on Paradoxium into an outright second at the 800. Tornado Valley rails to third. Then Streisand and Outspan in the white-coloured cap is in a three-wide position. Further back to Campione d'Italia, pushing through on the inside of Rich on Bugles and Whiteout Zambales. Further back then to Fireball as they travel to the turn. From Alibaba, I Am Dreaming, Dr. Hook and Miss Chanel. Roccini swings the corner in front and opens up by 3 lengths now on Paradoxium. Streisand being wound up the outside of Tornado Valley. Campione d'Italia 6 off the lead, coming to the middle part of the track. Roccini at the 200 leads the way by 2. Campione d'Italia is really starting to hit the line hard now, and Campione d'Italia down the outside is Miss Chanel with a good run late. Campione d'Italia in front from Miss Chanel. Campione d'Italia won the English Sires by 3/4. Miss Chanel, Fireball third. Big gap back to Roccini and Zambales. Boy, they've finished strong out at the end. Tornado Valley after many lengths. Then Paradoxium, Streisand, Alibaba. Further back to Outspan, I Am Dreaming from Rich on Bubbles, and Dr. Hook was last in.
Well, we said Waller and McDonald are hard to beat about 20 minutes ago, didn't we? It's an incredibly good ride. Miss Chanel was great. Fireball was great for Chris as well. But what J Mac did there was so clever. He was well back. He was third last. He cut the corner. He had a big look around coming around the turn. I don't know if it was here or... There, you have a look at that.
He's a little bit head shy at the moment, Bruce.
He doesn't want to get suspended.
Does not want to get
and
suspended.
then he wound him up, Katie and Lizzie. It took a while, but you always thought he was going to get there.
Yeah, he's a good solid horse. I was watching him early though. He didn't look like he was travelling all so well in the conditions, but he sort of built up, and once he got that momentum.
Only jockey to win a Group 1 in 6 consecutive weeks in Australian racing. He'd done it before, and now he's done again.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? I tell you what, a hat's
Race the TJ is. Look at these stars. How much money have they won, Katie? You did the sums?
Yes, I did, Bruce, and they've won over 66 million, nearly close to $67 million, and they're all Group 1 winners, Richard.
That's incredible, isn't it? And, you know, a horse... There has been money for Marzu as well. With the weather, in fact, the entire market has changed complexion today. Jolie Star is firming and is now favourite. After Tancred was favourite all week, Jolie Star, having opened $4.60 today, has been $3.90 into $3.50. Giga Kick, though, best backed overall. Our worst way at tab, open $8 today, $5.50 into $4.60. We'll love these conditions. Taking on Tancred now. Open $3 and is now a $4.80 chance. Jimmy Star trading between $5 and $5.50. Briasa, last year's winner, pretty friendless. Out to $9.50 now and has been 51 into now $23 today, along with Mark. Interesting with Tancred, Bruce, got out to $5. They took that. It's back into $4.60, but it will be Giga Kick. Having been $8 in the $4.60 through betting, it is our worst way by a mile.
Gee, Giga Kick.
The TJ Smith Stakes. Gates are back, off and racing, and Overpass exploded out of the gates and is going to lead from Marzu, and Briasa away well. Giga Kick settles fourth. On the outside of the favourite, Jolly Star. Then Magic Time from Skybird. Tancred settles second last. Jimmy Star at the rear. Marzu's up on the outside, hustling for the lead from Overpass. Briasa in a handy third. Followed then by Jolly Star on the inside of Giga Kick. The Magic Time just eased back a length, followed by Skybird, Jimmy Star and Tancred. It's a real mob at the rear of the field as Marzu storms to the front. Inside the 600 by 2 on Overpass. Jolly Star rails to third, followed by Briasa. Jimmy Star's making ground on the home turn. Giga Kick in the middle of the ruck. Tancred second last. Marzu leads up the rise. Jolly Star the inside. Overpass the outer. Then came Briasa. Magic Time, Giga Kick a bit cluttered up. Jimmy Star, Tancred are going to run last. Overpass, Jolly Star, Marzu fighting. Giga Kick into the clear. Jolly Star shows the way. Giga Kick is lengthening. Jolly Star in front of Giga Kick, and she does it again, Jolly Star. 5 Group 1s. What a preparation. Holding off Giga Kick. Skybird third. Then Jimmy Star, who's coming again on the line from Marzu. Further back to Magic Time. Overpass. Tancred hasn't handled the soft. Briasa's finished last.
Well, what a performance. And again, an incredible ride. I mean, Wayne Hawkes told us what he would do, and he almost did it. Giga Kick was great. Another place, and Skybird's run out of her skin. I reckon it's fair to say, and I'll give this to you, Katie. Jolly Star, this is almost the most important win of her life. She's won 4 Group 1s, but she hasn't beaten, I think, the best of the best of the best in any of those Group 1 wins she has today.
She definitely has today, and didn't she do it well? She's so tough. She isn't at her best on a wet track, and today she showed her class, and Giga Kick came at her with a huge run, and she was too good, Lizzie.
I tell you what, rewind the tape and have a look at that ride from James. I watched him everywhere he went. He was looking where Giga Kick was, and he was able to control the race from the gates. He didn't go forward and let Zach slot in one off the fence. He was able to really make him, he dictated where he wanted Zach to go, and that was the winning move in the end. It wasn't what he was able to do in the end of this race. It was out the gates and at the start and for the first 400 metres, and that's what happened. I'm not necessarily saying, you know, pride that won the race.
And you think of her, she won a 1600-metre race as a 3-year-old filly Group 1. She's won a Newmarket and a TJ Smith. She goes to another level today, she really does. She goes to Royal Ascot in the form of her life, and she right now...
Yeah, she's flying. She's had the best prep of her life, and it's indicated with her form line, like 1-1-1. She'll go to hop on the plane and be a pretty happy meal, I would have thought, but she's racing in career best form. Chris and the team are doing a marvellous job with them, and yeah, they presented immaculate.
And she's a mare that means a lot to you.
Yeah, well, the connections are obviously Kiwis, and it's always good to team up with them. But she's just a wonderful sprinter. Not only that, the horse herself, she's just been a marvel, and she's, yeah, it's
history. I mean, history does say a lot of things. History's set on racetracks on big days, but it tells you that it is very hard for a 3-year-old filly to win a Doncaster. We haven't had one this century, and the last one to win it as a 3-year-old filly is one of the all-time greats. Cat Coleman's up here today.
Because he was bored, decided I'll start buying horses.
How could he possibly be bored on a farm?
With 2,000 cows, yet he was bored, and he buys a $10,000 horse called She's an Alibi. Didn't realise how good she was. Can she handle a wet?
Weight's been going 49 kilos. You are a hero. How you obviously just weighed out and it's all good.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm looking forward to hopefully winning the race and getting some food.
No doubting that. How do you think the filly will perform in these conditions today?
Yeah, look, I'm confident as long as she gets through the track. I'm wrapped with the draw. I'm really happy with drawing out there now.
Was $1.80 when she won this 10 years ago. Such prices are rare in Doncasters. As it stands, She's an Alibi is $1.95. She did touch $1.90. Best back by an absolute mile, as you'd expect. Open $2.10 final field earlier in the week. Pretty much everything else is getting out as a result of the money for She's an Alibi. Autumn Boy's been $6.50 back to $9. Gringotts $10 back to $13. Pericles has been $17 into $15. Won a Group 1-2 starts ago. The Futurity, Headley $18. Attica, the 3-year-old, it's completely friendless. It's been $15 out to $31. What are you really gambling with? Mentioned Winks $1.80 10 years ago. The only other winner that's jumped less than $4 since 2003 was More Joyous. She was $3.80 in 2012.
And you're talking about, well, they are set for the Doncaster of 2026. We've got a very short price favourite. She's 4 from the left.
Favourite. No fillies achieved this since Sunline. The gates are back and they're racing in the Doncaster. Autumn Boy was one of the last out. Step Artie and Helsing have jumped well. So did Crystal Clear. Gringotts is pushing into a prominent role together with Attica. She lights off the track going forward on the outside of Linebacker, and Headley Granger's pushing forward. Then came Autumn Boy, NCAP, and Vivier's wide in the early part, followed by Militarised. Now She's an Alibi's well back in the field. They're followed then by getting along the rails Crystal Clear together with 60. She's an Alibi now second last. And Pericles has been taken back to last. Racing to the front here, Evaporate in the yellow cap by 3/4 to She Light. Helsing third, Linebacker in a great position fourth, 1 out, 1 back. 2 further back to Step Artie, Gringotts the inside. Further back to Attica on the outside of Autumn Boy, and Headley Granger's 3 wide. Then came in Cap from Crystal Clear, Militarised, 60s, Vivier. She's an Alibi is back at joint last with Pericles as they go inside the 600 and Evaporate rolling by 3/4 to She Light. Then Helsing, Linebacker pulling out with Step Artie, Attica, Autumn Boy coming off heels. Then Headley Grange further back 60s taking a rails runner up the rise and Evaporate 3 lengths clear. Linebacker's closing in quickly. Gringotts into the clear. Here she comes. She's an Alibi is winding up down the outside and the filly, look at her go. Oh my goodness, different class. She's an Alibi for Jamie Mellon, the first filly since the great Sunline to do it. And what a statement. My goodness, She's an Alibi, 5 lengths to Autumn Boy. I think Militarised third from Gringotts. Then 60s, further back Vivier, Headley Grange. Linebacker Evaporate, Attica, NCAP, Helsing, Pericles, Step Artie, Crystal Clear, She Light. What have we just seen?
I'm not going to say this without thinking about it. Randwick has rarely, if ever, seen a better performance than that in the modern time. It's up there with anything we have seen. It is a most extraordinary performance by a 3-year-old filly. Fred Nofke with Cat Coleman. We know what Jamie has been through to get this ride. We're shaking up here. We know that we are in the presence of greatness, absolute greatness. Peter Moody had arguably the greatest filly we've ever seen, and we've got another one here. Oh boy, it's hard to get your head around, Katie.
She is so special. We were saying how far back she was, and they went along at a nice clip, but the way that she rounded them up and put pay to them, Lizzie, she is something else.
Yes, look at that potent turn of foot that she's got. You could see she worked into it, and Jamie looked so confident. She was the widest horse at the top of the straight. Jamie waited with nerves of steel and then said, go, and that was the potent turn of foot. She didn't just win by a small margin, Bruce. She absolutely annihilated them.
And look, she's within a half a length of Autumn Glow and maybe right with her. And look at Moods and Cat and Mrs. Moods. Oh, boy. They've seen the highs, Peter. I mean, Richo, Randwick is so special for Peter. We've just seen one of the greatest performances ever at this track.
That's the big words from Bruce McAvaney. He said that's one of the biggest, or if not the biggest performance ever at Randwick over the mile.
Well, I was a kid here at Randwick, and I saddled up Liverstone Lane with the old boss Billy Mitchell, and strapped Western Ace for TJ Smith, and strapped Lygon Arms. So I go back a fair way here too. Not as much as Bruce, but oh God, that was special, wasn't it? I thought she's a long way out of the ground, but Jamie knew what she's doing. I just said to her, go out and have some fun, and don't fight with them. Just do what you got to do. And she's just amazing. Yes. Crikey, I've been blessed to train one of the greatest we've ever seen. But this filly's just amazing. I'm not saying she's black caviar, but that was just shit. How good.
Well, the fact that everything you've achieved, yet I see tears.
She's just a special horse.
Yeah.
Crikey, where's the ceiling? You don't know. It's special. I'm in racing, and well done to Freddie Nofke. What a story. $10,000 filly. Crikey. Well done to him.
Absolutely brilliant, mate. You've described.
She did it. She did exactly as you said. Every penny I paid for her, she's worth it.
Oh. How much did you pay for her?
Probably not enough.
No, and you said she was going to do that today. You've known for a long time she's a very special horse.
I was hoping for 3 lengths because that gives me a buffer in the next race.
To the next race, it doesn't get much.
Hard few weeks, but I don't think I've seen anything like that here for a long time. You're last, you're widest, and she's done it in a hand canter.
Look, I'd be starving hungry every week if I could sit on a horse like that. Look, we know she's a good horse, but she had to do it today in that ground. Well, back further than I wanted to be, well, wider than I wanted to be, all sorts. In the end, it didn't matter. In 2-3 strides, I thought, we're going to win by half the length of the straight. Like that was incredible. They know she's a good horse, but what she did then, I've never sat on a horse that's given me a feel like that. And I've sat on plenty of decent horses in the past. She is a freak.
When you gave her the message to go...
But we didn't need to. In the end, when I pushed the button, it took about 2-3 strides, and then I thought we're home. That was just unbelievable. I've still got goosebumps.
What a training performance.
Known as the ATC Australian Derby, the 2,400 metre Group 1 for 3-year-olds has been won by champions of all eras, including Farlap, Tulloch and Kingston Town, who in 1980 provided TJ Smith with a record 9th derby.
Kingston Town racing away from Mr. Independent.
Fellow Cox Plate legends Dulcify, Bone Crusher and Octagonal also left their mark on the race. Kiwi Murray Baker has won the race 5 times, including with Star Colt, It's a Done Deal in 2013.
Stakes at Newcastle, and was so impressive there that they had earmarked him for this race going back in November.
About training the individual as much as anything. I think Green Spaces relaxes so well. He's not a heavy set horse. He's lighter and athletic, and I think that will definitely help him get the trip and also
from Tab for the Derby.
Well, Bruce, favourites have won 3 of the past 4 derbies. I really thought Green Spaces might be favourite by now, but that doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Observer, they're really starting to zero back in towards it. Having got as long as $3, now is $2.70. Did touch $2.60. And Green Spaces as short as $3.30 in betting during the weeks, just out to $4.40. A bit soft in the market here late. Storm Leopard, having got to $5.50s, back into $5. The Tulloch winner, Road to Paris. The New Zealand Derby winners 11 into 9. $29.50, and One Step Closer as long as $34 is now $17, and KJ's the other one, and now just into $16, so one at odds here.
Matt Kumani.
Off in the Derby. And last out of the gates was Deal Done Fast there in the pale blue jacket, and Federalist is Jump Well. Looking for the lead from Storm Leopard, being sent forward is Victorious Spirit together with Observer and Bing Eye right there. And pushing through along the inside running rail in the early part is Storm Leopard trying to hold a few out. Just behind them now is KJ as they turn out of the straight, and making some ground is Deal Done Fast. It's got about 5 behind it early, One Step Closer. Are You Kidding on the inside of Road to Paris? Then came Savvy Santa, and right back to last now is Deal Done Fast, and just a little bit worse than midfield is Designation. So Observer, the favourite, taken to the front by McDonald. It leads by a length and a half on Victorious Spirit. Storm Leopard gets a great spot third on the back of the speed, 2 after Bing Eye fourth. Then Federalist on the inside of Green Spaces. Further back to clear of the field. McDonald staying well off the fence, and Observer as they roll down the back. And Observer's a comfortable leader by a length and a half on Storm Leopard on the inside of Victorious Spirit. 2 further back then to Bing Eye. Half the inside to Federalist, followed by Green Spaces, is really relaxed in the run. Put to sleep there, Green Spaces. On the outside of KJ, then Designation, further back to Are You Kidding? From One Step Closer, 2 further back to Savvy Santa, a half the outside to Road to Paris. Last in the Derby, as they race down the side, is Deal Done Fast. So it's the favourite on top here, Observer. Half length now on Victorious Spirit. Storm Leopard on the back of the speed. Designation, the roughie, takes off going to fourth. In front of Bing Eye, Green Spaces whips up on the outside with a free ride home. Over on the inside is KJ as Federalist is under pressure. One Step Closer gets going from Are You Kidding? Then Savvy Santa, Road to Paris. And last of all is Deal Done Fast as they turn for home, and Storm Leopard's gone up on the inside of Observer. And Storm Leopard race to a narrow lead from Observer. Then Designation, Green Spaces down the outside and further back to One Step Closer. Storm Leopard shows the way. Green Spaces moved up quickly. Green Spaces takes the lead narrowly now from Storm Leopard. They're 2 lengths clear from Designation, but Green Spaces sent clear in the Derby, and that's a big win. Green Spaces beats the roughie Designation. Storm Leopard third. Thundering home on the inside was KJ from Observer, followed then by One Step Closer. A good gap back in the field to Deal Done Fast, Victorious Spirit, Road to Paris, Savvy Santa, Are You Kidding? Bing Eye and Federalist was last in.
What a celebration, what a day of racing we have seen. We have had the lot. Rachel King there, the first female to win a Derby, wins her 8th Group 1 after Jamie Mellon wins the Doncaster today. So J-Mac with a couple, Rachel and Jamie, what a quartet. It was so strong late, and Bjorn is absolutely off his face here. His father's won 8 Derbies in total, 5 of them here. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, so good to see him finally get that in his own right, a Derby, and well ridden there from Rachel. It's just a smooth ride. They all found a rhythm, and gee, he's a good horse. He's by the same sire as the mighty Animo and Street Boss out of that good mare and Outdoor, who he's just put the writing on the wall, Lizzie. What an amazing performance. And Richo's with Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn, congratulations, mate. Oh, what a moment.
Yeah, he's dominant. What date's the Melbourne Cup?
Normally the first Tuesday in November.
No, I say my old man won 5 of them. Very special. I say he's won 6 now. He gave me plenty of advice during the week. He gives me a lot of advice all the time. But it's been so special. I wouldn't be here without Nom de Jure winning 2008. And to win with Godolphin and a horse like this, I was very confident he would win, and I thought he might put a space on them, and he did.
What was the advice, Dad? What was the advice Dad gave you?
Don't leave him short, son. Don't leave him short. I said, Murray, we're not training for jumps. I said, there's no water ball. But you know what? Fitness always wins, and this horse just, when they're in the zone and they eat it up, and Murray didn't train all his horses like that. He had 5 Derby winners that all stayed with me, or I looked after, and they're all very different. Done deal, he did nothing with.
It'd be all we see often, is it? Look at this.
my wife. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
The whole team, they earmarked him pretty early days and stuck to the plan, and the plan's come off.
I remember it. It was in November of last year up in Newcastle. He won a Group 3 Newcastle Stakes, and I remember only 10 minutes afterwards you said, here's my Derby colt.
Yeah, look, credit to Bjorn and Luke. They both had that huge confidence in him and put him out then and gave him the time he needed. You know, I rode him as a 2-year-old. He's been a very immature horse coming through the grades, but this prep, he's just gone to a whole new level, and we were pretty confident, you know, the 24 was never going to be a problem, and geez, he ate it up today.
You got him into a beautiful spot as well, so he could bowl along. It looks like he just went completely to sleep in your hands.
It's probably the best he's relaxed and funniest, you know, furthest he's run, but that just shows he is maturing. His last couple of starts, he's still been there on the bridle, but today, once we got round past the mile, he just put his head down, and I had a loop in my reins the whole way down the back, so we were able to conserve a lot of energy. I knew he was going to have a really good finish.
2 Sprint Cup, where Kaying Rising is going for 19 wins in a row. Before we take you to the team, let's hear.
Looking for 19 wins in a row. He won this race last year. He is an 8-time Group 1 winner. He's 1-1.
He's just gone in. He's at 1-1. The second pick is Helios Express, who on a win line is at 66-1. Every other horse cut. Kaying Rising shoots for 19. They're racing. He was last out. Kaying Rising. Beauty Waves off the inside lead. Stellar Express goes forward, and Kaying Rising straight through the centre to be handy. Lucky With You is 4th. 5th is Tomodachi Kokoro from Helios Express, and back last of all is Raging Blizzard. Stellar Express is going to cross to the rail, and he gets away by a good 2.5 to 3 lengths over Kaying Rising. Beauty Waves is running 3rd, and a gap in the field to Tomodachi Kokoro. Lucky With You against the rail from Raging Blizzard, and Helios Express is last, about 9 off the lead. Stellar Express leads. Kaying Rising stalking 2 lengths away 2nd. Beauty Waves 3 away 3rd, pushed along. Another 3 lengths to Lucky With You. Tomodachi Kokoro. Stellar Express leads, but about to be monstered by Kaying Rising. This is where the reins get shaken. It's the standard spot by Purden. Shake the reins. He did the shimmy. He put 6 on. Stellar Express, Beauty Waves, they're all lining up for minors. 19 in a row. The scary thing is he's getting better and better. Guess who runs second? Yep, Helios Express. Kaying Rising streaks them. Helios Express second again. Raging Blizzard 3rd. And then Lucky With You, Tomodachi Kokoro, Beauty Waves and Stellar Express. It's just unfair. It really is unfair. 1-1. The ease. The rain shake at the 300 is all Purton's riding fee is. Look at it. Helios Express second again. Raging Blizzard runs on. The crowd's going bananas. 19 wins in a row. And they're getting easier. They're not even getting any closer to him. Especially here in Hong Kong. He's just run.
Not only got to in Hong Kong but around the world is just quite remarkable. I always see tweets about him from the UK, and we just want to see him continue winning, and there's no doubt about it. There's some knockers that it's a fishbowl in Hong Kong, but
dollar for dollar, it's just about even the hole between the 3 as well. But Medicinal, of about a month between runs since it won at Flemington, is now the favourite. $3.90, having got to $4.80. Satono Glow open favourite for this race, and was just about 10 minutes ago. It's now $4.20.
And we're going to see them here in the Percy Sykes.
They're racing, and Screen Icon left well off the inside. The favourite Medicinal, one of the first into stride from She's Extra. Riccini bounding forward. They're followed by Satono Glow and the Improve parked on the outside of Screen Icon. Now further back to Cherry Bombshell. Now reaching out is going to settle second last and being ridden up. Really being ridden up. 6 lengths to Kieran Starr. Riccini leads from She's Extra, and the favourite Medicinal out 3 wide. Then Screen Icon from Satono Glow. Lumbini's off the track in a pretty sedately run race. Reaching out back on the inside of Cherry Bombshell, wedged between runners. And they're going that slow. Kieran Starr's tacking on. So Riccini at odds leads here from She's Extra and Medicinal, followed then by Satono Glow, wedged in the middle of the ruck. Screen Icon looking for a run now as they go inside the 300, and Medicinal lets down. Medicinal moved up to Riccini. Then Screen Icon. Further back, Cherry Bombshell running on. Medicinal takes the lead of the 200. Cherry Bombshell's a big danger. And right down the outside is Kieran Starr. but Cherry Bombshell went bang. Cherry Bombshell won the Percy Sykes, beating Medicinal. Kieran Star third. Satono Glow and Clear rattled home into fourth. Followed then by Lumbini, Screen Icon, reaching out, never a factor after the average start. Further back to She's Extra, and Riccini led them up, was last in.
Lizzie gave her a good push in Cherry Bombshell, and it was messy the final couple of furlongs, a lot of ins and outs, twos and fros. A couple who were incredibly unlucky in that traffic, but the thing is, this filly, she found the gap, she found clear air, and she exploded late. Now she's got a Group 2 next winner.
Yeah, it's massive for her breeding. She's a lucky Vega out of a not a single doubt mare, and she's been really well placed. She's done all of her 3 starts. A couple of leaders win on the fence, and then a couple of horses slice through them and come down the middle. So I think they've turned out the track in beautiful order. Every horse is getting their chance, and grab the popcorn.
What have you got for us, mate, on the Oaks?
Well, Bruce, the Vinery form or the Adrian Knox form? And I hope a wins out of the Vinery. Gee, the traders have kept her very safe in the betting. She opened 230, got to 250, back into 240 because there's been a lot of support for last week's winner, Profoundly. Opened 350, got to 320, now $3.40. Soverato, having got to $9, is into $7.50. After Summer, opened $11, is now a $9 chance. And interestingly, the stablemate
sends them off in the Australian Oaks. No speed at all by Queen of Clubs. Now wide out, Profoundly being sent forward in the early stages from Lamora Mountain Queen, and Long Legs is not going to give up the fence without a fight. After Summer pushes through into 5th position early. Classic Gem right behind. Soverato takes a spot down on the rails. Stand My Ground is 3 wide in the early part. In advance of the favourite, I Hope He Wins. They're followed further back by Satono Invader. And the last Vader on the inside of Classic Gem. I Hope He Wins has switched off nicely back in the field. The favourite is 3rd last from Queen of Clubs. And Dance with Destiny's at the tail of the field. 1,400 metres to go. It's taken a while, but Stand My Ground has licked the field and now takes the lead. Out by a length and a half. Lamora goes to 2nd, and Long Legs races 3rd on the inside. Then came Mountain Queen, who effectively is 1 out, 1 back. Profoundly now 5th and about 6 off the lead. Then Soverato. After Summer is next the outside in the red cap. Then Satono Invader. Classic Gem and the white cap is next in the running line, followed by Queen of Clubs. Now I Hope He Wins is now 2nd last and would be about 15 lengths off the leader. And the roughie Dance with Destiny last. So it's Stand My Ground, 800 to go. Leading the way by 2.5 lengths from Long Legs. Then came Lamora. Mountain Queen being roused along on the outside. The runs are starting a long way out. Profoundly just sits back in 5th, about 3 off the lead. Taking its time. Then came Soverato. After Summer, Classic Gem improves. Still 3rd last as I Hope He Wins, but the field is starting to bunch up now. It's Stand My Ground, turning the corner in front of the Oaks. But here come the runs. Profoundly gets going. So does After Summer, the outside. Classic Gem. And I Hope He Wins in the white blinkers is winding up on the outside. Profoundly takes the lead at the 200. I Hope He Wins. She's looming ominously today. And I Hope He Wins moves up to Profoundly with After Summer fighting in the middle. I Hope He Wins gets a half on Profoundly and After Summer. And I Hope He Wins claims the Oaks double. I Hope He Wins a half length from either Profoundly or After Summer. Classic Gem running home into 4th, and they absolutely gap the rest. 10 lengths to Soverato, then Dance with Destiny, Stand My Ground, Mountain Queen, Queen of Clubs, Lamora, Satono Invader, Long Legs the leader, early, has finished last.
Can you believe it? 60 Group 1s between the pair of them now. 5 Oaks for Chris Waller, 3 for James McDonald. She was a long, long way back, but you knew she was travelling. But she had to fight hard, and now she's a dual Oaks winner.
She just has that staying prowess over a few of these other contenders in the field. I tell you what, there were some great runs in behind her, but none was better than hers. You're right, Bruce. Back in the field, circle the field. The pace was genuine enough for him to be able to angle out at the right time and build into the race. A massive performance from Profoundly. Classic Gem, also the Dom Sutton trained gallop. Big asset.
Yeah, definitely, Lizzie. She just loved the 2,400 metres, and and she's just a real classy Ocean Park filly, and being ridden a lot quieter. The speed was on up front. We saw them take off early after even rolling along, and it just set the race up so beautifully for Profoundly, who gave a really good kick, Bruce, but off Profoundly's.
From two this preparation and running against your own age, you're entitled to be odds on, and that is certainly the case with Tempted. Post the scratching of Bayvarks yesterday, $1.60, did get into $1.55, now back to $1.60. More than 60% of the hold is for her. Grafter Burners, after being 6 back to 8, is back into $7, and Mahuna they backed this morning, in fact, was 11 into $7.50, just back to 8. Gee, they've chipped away at Cafe Florian.
We're ready now. In the arrow field, stand by, the gates are back and they're off and racing. Mahuna jumped well, so did Beebman, and Tempted's come out with them, but it's the outside two pushing on. Paladin handy, and now Devil Knight is wishing up on the inside of Skyhook. Tempted took hold, got a trail behind the main body of the field on the outside of Grafter Burners, then Cafe Florian and Nashville Jack. Mahuna presses on, Devil Knight kicks up, Devil Knight holds the front. Paladin there, followed by Mahuna, and Beebman's right off the course. Grafter Burners goes to 5th, followed by Tempted, Skyhook, Nashville Jack, Cafe Florian, last of a bunch field, 5.50 out. Devil Knight a half in front to Paladin, Mahuna, Beebman 4 wide, then Grafter Burners. Chad Schofield about to extricate now on Tempted, and Cafe Florian works into the clear. 300 to go, Devil Knight from Paladin, Mahuna, Beebman. Here she comes, Tempted starting to wind up. 2 for the back, Cafe Florian. 200 to go, Devil Knight by a length and a half, but Tempted, she's heading top gear now, and Tempted race past Devil Knight and Grafter Burners, and Tempted with the eyes on the big prize in October, beats up her 3-year-old compatriots here. Tempted a length to Devil Knight, Grafter Burners 3rd, followed by Mahuna, Cafe Florian, Skyhook, big gap back to Paladin, Beebman, and tailed off Nashville Jack.
And what about this record at Randwick? The only time she's been beaten at Randwick's in the Everest. She ran second to Carrying Rising. That's not getting beaten. That's winning in so many ways. Look, she's special. We know that. It was a beautiful ride, actually, by Chad. He did everything right, didn't he?
Yeah, well, it set up beautifully for him. The speed was on, and then when James McDonald took off on Beedman, it gave him a beautiful card into it. Once she balanced up, you just knew it was all over. She's a really special filly, and deserved his, and he was able to do so. She is a wonderful little filly, I tell you, but there's not a lot of her, and she's quite amazing. She packs a massive punch. She's got a big heart and a really, really big motor.
Was later renamed the Sydney Cup. The legendary Carbine was an early dual winner, and with the race run in autumn, he wasn't the only Melbourne Cup winner to leave their mark on the Randwick feature.
You've done it again, bossy boy. first.
In 1980, the Sydney Cup received Group 1 status and was fittingly won by a 14-time Group 1 king.
Kingston Town is going to win the Sydney Cup in a walk. He's 5 lengths in front coming to the line.
In 1999, Tie the Knot was the last to go back-to-back.
Back-to-back Sydney Cups for him. Ah, but what a stayer. Tie the Knot wins for...
Longer favourite for the Sydney Cup. Cracking betting race for the first leg of the quaddie today. But now River of Stars, the punters are circling in on with James McDonald in the saddle. Having got to $7.50 in betting, it's now into $4.80. And Mr Monaco, having been $4.60s out to $5.50. Machine Gun Gracie has been a firmer all week, as you can see, traded as long as 15, short as $7.50, now $8. Soul of Spain got to 9, just back into $8.50. Juakibo's a firm, it's Rifter and pretty friendless in the betting. The worst way for tabbing the race is Hutchins. We've written a stack of bets at huge prices, $51, but traded as long as $201. What do you really $7.50? But has to be River of Stars. A good go in the last hour or so. $7.50 into $5.
So $7.50 into $5, and even maybe a fraction shorter before
time. And the gates are back. They're off and racing over the 2 miles, and Let's Deal jumped well. So did Mr Monaco wide out rolling forward. Let's Deal there together with Juakibo. Now there's plenty having a crack here for the early positions. River of Stars is poking through. Then New Look Athabascan. Whiskey on the Hill was there, but dressed back now. On the outside of Piggy back, then Valiant King. A gap to Soul of Spain, and Hutchins last of all. Right, coming to the turn the first time, changing of the guard on the inside, changing of the guard from Litzdale. Juakibo 3 up, Machine Gun Gracie. Mr. Monaco is the widest and allowed to roll forward here in the hands of Jamie Mellon and is pushing on into a forward roll. Just off the speed, then came New Look, position down on the rail. Further back to River of Stars, Highland Bling. Off the front runner, so it's changing of the guards at the 1800 metre mark, just loafing along, enjoying his action. Out by 2 lengths on Mr. Monaco. 2 further back to Machine Gun Gracie, is travelling pretty strongly there in third spot. New Look creeping a bit closer on the fence, followed by Juakibo. Highland Bling is pretty relaxed behind them in the red cap. Further back to Litzdale, a length into Valiant King on the inside of River of Stars. A length and a half to Hutchins from Athabascan, piggyback, Soul of Spain, and Whiskey on the Hill is last of all. They've gone inside the 1400 metres in the Sydney Cup of 2026. And one of the long shots in front, changing of the guard by 3 lengths now on Mr. Monaco, and New Look continues to pinch ground going to third, followed by Machine Gun Gracie sitting a bit wider. Further back to Highland Bling from Juakibo, Valiant King. River of Stars is taking off from back in the field. James McDonald said it's time to improve his position on the favourite, and River of Stars is starting a good run around the field. Changing of the guard inside the 1,000, leads by 4, now 3, now 2. River of Stars moves up on the outside at New Look. Mr. Monaco has been relegated to 4th. Then came Machine Gun Gracie, followed by Hutchins. Further back then to Highland Bling, improving on the rails from Juakibo as they really up bandy now coming to the turn. 600 metres to run, and New Look now moved up. 2 changing of the guard, and River of Stars is being pushed along in third, having taken off early. Mr. Monaco's under the pump. Further back to Highland Bling running into it. Into the straight, changing of the guard, giving a great sight from New Look, and Highland Bling's coming off heels. Further back, Soul of Spain running on. Changing of the guard, 250 to go, beat off New Look. Then Soul of Spain, Highland Bling further back to piggyback. Let's deal with a big run late. Changing of the guard inside the 100, and narrow leader from Soul of Spain holding. Then came Highland Bling, but changing of the guard has won the Sydney Cup at big odds, beating Soul of Spain and Highland Bling. Then Athabascan Litzdale. Further back to piggyback. New Look. River of Stars took off early but didn't see out the distance. Further back, Mr. Monaco, beaten a long way out. Then Valiant King from Hutchins, Machine Gun Gracie, Whiskey on the Hill, and Juakibo.
Enormous result here. These famous Williams colours. Nick's about to join us. Chris Lees, of course. Nick, what a day. And for Chris, of course, with County Tyrone, of course, and all of that to win this Sydney Cup for you and Lloyd and all of the crew.
Look, we've got a very loyal following that come in these horses, of friends with us that have been in them for near on 20 years now. And you know, it gives me great pleasure, obviously, to win with them. And, you know, they've been in over 100 horses with us. But really, today's about Chris Lees. He's, without question, the nicest man in racing. And for him to have this success for us, I just could not be more happy for him. He's a lovely fella, and as you say, he's...
Chris, this is a race that I know means a lot to you. I think of old County Tyrone. You've won another Sydney Cup, mate.
It's a great thrill, you know, to win in them colours too. What a great thrill. Got a lovely rated ride. I thought he's actually nearly going too slow. You know, he got him right back to 14. He goes quicker in track work most mornings. But he upped the ante when they come up around him, and it was really pleasing. Great thrill.
That was one for the...
To lead by a long way, but seriously, 30 lengths. This is unbelievable.
Croft just summed her up so well. So what about the ride of Jenny? The master poster, hasn't it, for Jenny? We love her. Oh, look at that, as Dennis would say.
He is. Now, Pride of Jenny, best backed our worst way, but just soft in the market now. And Lady Shenandoah, again, is favourite here, Bruce, in a market that was adjusted after scratchings this morning. So Lady Shenandoah at $3.50. Pride of Jenny, in fact, having got to $4, is now just quickly back into $3.70. There is market confidence there today for Treasure the Moment. $4.20 into $3.90. I Idle Fly's been 6 back to 7, but she's always heavily backed, especially late in her races. Keep an eye on that late. She's a hustler. Well, what a trading performance this would be first up. Spect here, $19 into $14. I'm seeing now $3.80 on my screen.
So, Jared, who's going to run favourite?
It's Lady Shenandoah will run favourite, it looks like.
Okay, what a...
Ready to run, and the Queen of the Turf, and the gates are back and they're off, and Pride of Jenny began really well off the inside. And she's the initial leader now. Treasure the Moment and Lady Shenandoah, they've both bounced out well. So McDonald's in a position to get leaders back now on Lady Shenandoah. And Treasure the Moment settled third and Idle Flyer fourth. Followed by She's a Hustler, 2 further back to Artie Glamour. On the outside of Melody again. Further back Like a Lucy from Medella. 2 off 2 Panito, and Dark Glitter is back last of all. So Declan Bates ensures the paces. Good on Pride of Jenny. 1,000 metres to go, and she's 4 or 5 lengths in front. Lady Shenandoah in a clear second. Back in a clear third is Treasure the Moment as the field is well strung out. We've seen this before with Pride of Jenny. So Idle Flyer fourth, then She's a Hustler. Melody again. Artie Glamour. Some of these mares just can't keep up. 600 metres to go. Pride of Jenny by 3, being ridden up now by Bates. McDonald sitting pretty quietly on Lady Shenandoah as she starts to bridge the gap, and 2 for the back, Treasure the Moment, and 1.5 lengths Idle Flyer. Pride of Jenny comes around the corner by 3 on Lady Shenandoah. McDonald hasn't moved on her. Then Treasure the Moment and Idle Flyer. Pride of Jenny's all out. Lady Shenandoah claims her, and here comes Idle Flyer. Lady Shenandoah hits the lead of the 200, but Idle Flyer chasing her first Group 1 success, draws level. Idle Flyer moved up to Lady Shenandoah, and Idle Flyer draws away with the Queen of the Turf by 3/4. Lady Shenandoah second, Treasure the Moment third. She's a Hustler thundering home. Then Pride of Jenny, she went hard, got tired. A gap to Like a Lucy from Panito. A long gap back to Medella from Melody again. Artie Glamour, and Dark Glitter was last in the Queen of the Turf.
It was a fantastic race. It's a magnificent result for Matthew Smith and Zach Lloyd. Here's Matthew. We had them wide up, didn't we? Zach was talking about what he might have to do. Here's the celebration. She gets to the next level today. Jenny did her bit. The others had their chance, and Idle Fly came over the top.
He said, we're going to win it in the last 100 metres, and that's exactly what he did. The last 100 metres, she just grabbed, no slouch. She put up a massive performance, but Zach Lloyd has been able to get this beautiful mare home. And Matt Smith, a Group 1 on the board, again in the Queen of the Turf.
That is some win. Any race where Lady Shenandoah, Pride of Jenny and Treasure the Moment are in, that's some win.
Yeah, it's a proper Group 1, wasn't it? I don't know what to say. I can't believe it. I don't know what to say. It was unbelievable, you know.
And the group of owners here have just been remarkable.
Yeah, no, we've got a great crew in the horse and great supporters of the stable, and just can't believe she's won, you know.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
There you go.
Now, and so Zach's got 3 of the half a dozen this season. He's a star on the rise, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is, and that was a sweet ride for him just to get up on the line over Lady Shenandoah. It was a great race, and Pride of Jenny did her all. I think she finished.
The major players are obviously Autumn Glow, Dubai Honour and Sedelius. They're the main stars with cameo roles for Lindemann and Light Infantryman.
Lindemann is going to love the firm conditions out there too, the track, so he'll give them something to chase. For a small field, there's good speed on, so yeah, I'm getting nervous as we're at the build-up. It sure is. She just has not done anything wrong. One day she got a heavy 10 track and Gangster Granny looked all but home, but she can do it all.
10 starts.
That is indeed correct, Bruce. So she's $1.30. Came into that after Aliana, of course, was scratched this morning. She's been $1.40 all week. Now, Winks won this race at $1.12, $1.24 and $1.06 between 2017 and 2019. Sedelius, having got to $7, is just back into $6.50. In fact, just got back to $7. Dubai Honour, trading between $7.50 and $8. Light Infantry Man, just 26 into 23, the Australian Cup winner. Lindemann, $23 solid today. And then you've got Wootton Verney, $1.30 has to be. She's been solid at the quote all day, holding 8 times more on Autumn Glow than the next best backed, although I did just see a bet of 5,000 on Sedelius at $7.
OK.
They're set. Racing in the Queen Elizabeth, and she left really well, Autumn Glow. Plenty of going forward, though. Light Infantryman right up the inside, leads initially from Autumn Glow. Sedelius up running third. Caviar Heights is wide in fourth. Debiana settling in the second half of the field. Wootton Verney improves on the rails, and Lindeman's back last. Yes, Lindeman is last. Light Infantryman leads, 1,600 metres to go, and Caviar Heights rolls to second. And Sir Delius is up running in the third position in the early stages. So Autumn Glow's now fourth, and she's one off the fence on the outside of Wootton Verney. Well, Tom Marquand kept us guessing before the race. Who thought he was going to settle second last on Debiana? And Lindeman, who normally leads in these races, he is sitting right back at the tail of the field. 1,200 metres to run. Light Infantryman 2 in front of the roughie Caviar Heights. Sir Delius is well clear of his main rivals at the moment. Sir Delius is about 4 lengths off the lead. About 5 further back to Autumn Glow on the outside of Wootton Verney and Debiana. So Marquand has decided to track the great mare everywhere she goes. Lindeman is still last of all. 800 metres to run. Light Infantryman 2 in front. Caviar Heights looks gassed already, and quickly Sir Delius strides up on the outside and is starting to close in. So Williams is putting himself in the best position at the 600. Autumn Glow goes to fourth, followed by Wootton Verney, and Debiana is peeling up on the outside of Autumn Glow. Around the turn, Light Infantryman shows the way. Sir Delius given full rein, and quickly Autumn Glow slices through, and here comes the great mare. Sir Delius making his bid for victory, leads by a length and a half. Autumn Glow is grinding away, and Lindeman down the outside. Autumn Glow's in trouble. Sir Delius, is this his big moment? Sir Delius 2 in front. Lindeman, Autumn Glow do the chasing, but Sir Delius takes out the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, done it by 2 lengths. Lindeman from last second. Autumn Glow third, 2 further back to Debiana. The Gap Light Infantryman, Wootton Verney and Caviar Heights. Oh, it's his big day, Sir Delius.
Life has changed for all of us. Sir Delius, who was the star of the Melbourne Spring and wasn't able to run in the Cox Plate or the Melbourne Cup after the X-rays. This is an incredible training performance. It was an unbelievable race with Lindeman at the back and looking like a winner at one stage. James did everything right. She had her chance. It wasn't her day today. And maybe the 2000 found her out.
Yeah, probably did find her out. But let's focus on the winner, because I tell you what, that was a bold performance. You looked back through the field to think, oh, she's going to work into it. And James cuddled her for as much as possible. But Sedelius, that positive ride from Craig Williams to get him to that point, third up into his preparation. Look at where he is, Bruce. He's just starting to cruise to the line now. And I tell you what, Gay Waterhouse told us she was the best 2,000-metre horse in the country, and Richo, Adrian Bott and her were right.
Well, Adrian, to you and Gay, congratulations on exquisite training performance, because you got him to peak on the day you wanted.
Yeah, look, this is the one that counted, and yeah, obviously it was difficult those first parts of the preparation when you had a little bit of expectation on him from what he was able to achieve in the spring, but you know, we kept focused, and this is the goal that we really wanted to be able to achieve. Today was the right setup, and Craig executed it perfectly. So I'm delighted for all the owners that are involved, and he's executed it really well, and can't wait for the spring again.
Yeah.
Knew that he was always going to run out a really strong 2,000 metres, and he was brilliant last start, I thought, behind Eliana. So, and he was dragged back on that occasion. So I think being positively ridden was, you know, why he won the race today.
Well, clearly when he ran to them for a supreme effort.
So right now, James McDonald just rolls up behind Craig Williams, and right now, James McDonald has ridden the absolute perfect race. He's on a mare by the Autumn Sun, who produces horses at 2,000 metre plus, but out of a sprinting mare. Is she a middle distance horse? Right here he asked the question.
He does up the Randwick Rise, didn't he? And it turned out not today, and Sedelius was oh so strong late. This is how he won those races in Melbourne in the spring. He looked beaten on occasions. He is a powerful animal.
What about the performance of Lindeman, though, to come from back in the field and find the line? He's an absolute war horse to be able to do that, because maybe if they rode him
in 11 starts has Gangster Granny, $2.50 into $2.10, clearly best back for the last today. Flying for Fun, looking for 3 straight wins for Bryce Hayes, $4.60 on opening. and he's a $3.90 chance. So it's best back to beat the favourite. Splashback's been another firmer. First up for Graham Begg today. Open 11, short of $6.50, now just $7. A lot of these getting out now.
Racing, and she's jumped out fairly well, Gangster Granny. Monty Cape was nicely into stride, and Flying for Fun is in a prominent position as well with Monty Cape and Spring Lee. So Spring Lee leads from Monty Cape. Gangster Granny in a wide position. In flight goes up the inside of Huss. Then Catch the Glory. Flying for Fun caught wide. Then Coco Jambu. Body Supreme back in the field from more territories. Then Splash Back and Infancy's last of all. Spring Lee shows the way and does so clearly from Monty Cape, and Gangster Granny moves to third. Flying for Fun off the course, improving. Then in flight on the inside of Huss. Catch the Glory in the middle of the pack. Further back, Coco Jambu, Monty Supreme, more territory, Splash Back, and Infancy's last of all. Spring Lee turns the corner in front by 2 on Monty Cape. Then in flight, further back, Gangster Granny being wound up, and Flying for Fun goes with her. Spring Lee leads down to the 200 from Monty Cape. Gangster Granny, Flying for Fun in flight, whipping up behind them, working into the clear. In flight, moves through the centre from Gangster Granny. In flight, sprints hard. In flight, won the last. Infancy down the outside second in front of Gangster Granny. Then more territories, Coco Jambu and Monty Supreme. Further back then to Monty Cater, got tired from Flying for Fun who worked. Then came Husk and Catch the Glory weakened out.
When you're hot, you're hot. Craig Williams back-to-back winners. What a performance from this mighty mare in flight. Placed to perfection. We could see there was a number of charges in the concluding stages, Katie, but in flight, that lovely conservative ride, needle-eye gap, he pokes through, and a dominant win in the end.
Yeah, it sure was, and she's such a good mare, isn't she? She's a 5-year-old.
Well, that's a way to end the carnival. She's the model of consistency. What a win and an electric finish.
Yeah, look, the big doubt over her so far in her career has been her ability to handle dry tracks. She was 8 starts on good ground for 4 placings, so that was a doubt today, but she loved that.
And in the upcoming Frank Packer Plate as we get to Ali Mosley for a market. So, Katie, Matthias is your favourite, but in terms of market support for a 280 favourite, we did expect that more would be on him. So he's the one that they like, though, albeit he's only slightly best back. So he's got 35%, not hugely popular, as I mentioned. Olympian, your second best back runner with 25%, sits at the $5 quote. Opened 8, 480 this morning, so now just out of touch to 5. Providence then, 7 to 750. Eureka Rebel is the one who's...
Brownweg. Gates are back, they're off and racing, and Matthias, the favourite, was one of the first into stride. Pictors bursting through on the rails. Agent Zero there. Listen, Sweetheart going forward, and Baron Gary in the thick of the action as well. Then there's a real clump behind them. Eureka Rebels out wide on the outside of Olympian. As Seamus had to snatch up there on the inside of Mr. Martini. Your Chili back in the field is cast 3 wide, Martini. Then came Providence, Monopolistic and Coulter as the last two as they start the run down the side. And Listen, Sweetheart at a decent gallop by 3 on Agent Zero. 2 after Pictor, 2 after Baron Gary. A margin then to Olympian going to 5th in front of Matthias. Off the track is Your Chili and Eureka Rebel strung up between them. Further back to O'Shamus, Come On Flyer, Mr. Martini. Providence, Monopolistic, Coulter still last 15 off the lead. Listen, Sweetheart, 500 to go. He's got Agent Zero off the bridle. Pictor being reined up. Then came Baron Gary, Olympian out wide. Matthias got a mile of room to improve through towards the inside. Further back, Eureka Rebel looking for clear running and getting it. 300 to go now, and Pictor moved up to claim the 2 leaders. Further back, Matthias running on. Baron Gary still in it. Further back to Olympian, is only whacking away and going right up the inside as Providence. It's Pictor in front now. The favourite, Matthias, quickly moved up, and Matthias takes the lead and draws away for a big win in the Frank Packer Plate. Providence got through for second, Pictor third. A gap to O'Shamus, I think, finished 4th, just in front of Baron Gary and Monopolistic. Then came Olympian, Eureka Rebel. Further back, Agent Zero, Your Chili, Mr. Martini. From Coulter, Listen, Sweetheart, Come On Flyer.
Flashed home late did Matthias for a nice Group 3 victory next to his name there. He ran oh so well in a Carbine. He steps up again today. Nashrawilla with a double as well. Some of the old boys teaching the young boys how it's done today.
Yeah, definitely.
BRC Oaks, and you flash back to Lasquetti Spirit. That is the trophy for the Group 1 Champagne Stakes for the 2-year-olds. It's the 4th Group 1 for the juveniles of the season.
Let's come a really interesting market here, and the all-important market. With that being said, it is one-way traffic now for our favourite. Don't worry about the JMac factor. 65% of the money here sits with Campione d'Italia. Open 280, 240 this morning, now into 220. So it's been a really good late crunch. Fireball, stablemate, just out of touch, 6 to 7 now. Miss Chanel is at 7 as well, so drifting from 550. Southend is your next best backed, but in terms of hold, there is nothing.
Racing down the Champagne Stakes, and Don't Look Back began really sharply from the wide draw and lands in the lead there from Zambale. Southend is going forward, and Grinzinger Heart as well. So Grinzinger Heart's going to lead here from Don't Look Back. Zambale's Miss Chanel being sent forward out wide. Getting up on the outside of Diameter, pretty handy, but caught a little bit deep. Fireball plonks in behind them. They put a bit of a gap on the next in the field. Southend on the outside of the favourite, Campione d'Italia. Then Sumac from Nomadic. And well back in the early stages is Am I Dreaming together with Persian Wonder. Don't Look Back shows the way, a length and a half to Grinzinger Heart. So Miss Chanel sitting handy in third, will equal third now on the outside of Diameter there on the rails. Further back to Zambale's Fireball. Campione d'Italia is firing up. He's firing up in the second half of the field. Then Southend, followed by Sumac. Nomadics pushing through on the rails from Persian Wonder. And Am I Dreaming, the last one. 5:50 to go. Don't Look Back. In front by length on Grinzinger Heart. Followed by Diameter, just needing a bit of room now as Fireball gets going. Miss Chanel gets going. And three further back to Campione d'Italia. Don't Look Back has got them stacked up. Fireball makes the run. So does Miss Chanel. Campione d'Italia winding up. Zambale's trying to push it underneath. Diameter's in restricted room. Campione d'Italia moved up on the outside. Pokes the head in front. Diameter's coming through on the inside of Fireball. It's Campione d'Italia out wide. Fireball's driving at it. Fireball goes to Campione d'Italia, and Fireball won the Champagne Stakes by a head to Campione d'Italia, and Diameter third, Zambale's fourth. Further back to Nomadic, then Sumac from Southend, Miss Chanel. Then came Grinzinger Heart from Don't Look Back, Persian Wonder, and Am I Dreaming?
Scenes with the team involved with that man on your screen at the moment, in James Harron and his Colt Syndicate. They pour a huge amount of money into racing, trying to find their next stallion prospect. They've done it so effectively in the past with the likes of Capitalist. Well, they've got another one here today in Fireball. What a tussle. It was position in running, wasn't it, Katie? He just had the upper hand when it came to position. Campione d'Italia was closing late, but just ran out of time.
Yeah, I'd love to see go back in this race because
Jax has won it 3 times. And then there's a few in the field today, Jimmy Star, Magic Time, and also Giga Kick, who are looking to win doubles of this race.
Yeah, of course, a mighty Sunline too. Also won it twice. Not far away for the 1400 metre weight for age event, the all-age stakes, as we look at these contestants. And Giga Kick, of course, the Everest Hero 2023, half yours, the Cup's King. We've got Angel Capital, hasn't won a Group 1 yet. Of course, 11 of these are individual Group 1.
All-important market at that end, and they have really rallied around Angel Capital. Can we trust him? The punters seem to think so. 35% of the money is invested on him now. 460 into 380. Second elect here is Jimmy Star, and he has about 15% overall, albeit he's just been soft late, 460 to 550. Similar hold here with Bivart, 650, got into 6 and is just back out to that 650 quote now. Giga Kick has just been 7 to 8. Pericles, 950 into 8 affirm at odds once again. Fangirl actually is a big loser for us. They've spec'd her at odds here at the $10 quote, and why not? Briassa then is at 18, so it's a gap. Lazura also at that $18 quote. The other one that they've backed here with that Melbourne Cup factor is half yours, so it would also be a really bad result for us, albeit 21.
Racing now, and the grey Briassa anticipated the start well. Headley Green's being sealed up to join and head it. And now Bivart is starting to muster on the inside. Royal Patronage going through in the thick of the action, and Pericles grabs a spot right behind them. followed by Lazura, then Jimmy Star out deep. Angel Capital down on the fence. 3/4 further back to Giga Kick. Then came Half Yours from Magic Time Fangirl. Kovalika is the last one. Bivark got through on the inside and now takes the lead clearly at the 800 metres by a length and a half to Royal Patronage. Pericles in third, followed by Headley Grange. Then came Lazura. Briasa jumped well, but is awkwardly placed now on the outside of Angel Capital. Further back to Giga Kick, Jimmy Star, 3 out from Half Yours. Further back to Magic Time Fangirl. Kovalika's last in the All-Age Stakes. So Bivark, the colt, trying to make all. Bivark turns in front from Royal Patronage, Headley Grange. Then came Pericles from Lazura. Angel Capital's all bottled up on the inside as Briasa pulls out. 2 further back to Giga Kick. And Jimmy Star starting to wind up down the outside. Bivark shows the way. He shows a good kick. It's Bivark 2 lengths clear from Headley Grange, Jimmy Star and Briasa. But Bivark going well inside the 50, and Bivark the colt takes out the All-Age Stakes. Lazura flushed in to be in a photo for second with Jimmy Star. Then Headley Grange, Angel Capital running on when clear late. Further back to Half Yours from Fangirl, Royal Patronage. Then came Pericles, Giga Kick and Magic Time.
Godolphin having some sort of season with their 3-year-olds, and this might be the best of the lot of them, apart from Tempted, of course. She's the sprinting star, but this guy's the 7 furlong star. Bivark right there, jumped on the bunny, on speed. Nash Rawiller with another victory today and a big Group 1 for him. It's been a little bit quiet for Nash here there throughout the carnival, but that's a big victory for a colt who has got a huge amount of talent.
Yeah, he sure does, and Nash now has won this race on 3 occasions, and you just win more races by going forward and making your own luck, and that's exactly what Bivark does. And you could see it a mile away from a speed map point of view that he was going to get complete control, and he's the type of horse that doesn't want to try and go too slow. He just was rated beautifully in front and end. But as I said, Bivark, he was off and gone, and catch me if you can tactics.
Chris Waller with a Group 1 double today. It has been a carnival to remember for him. They've been trying to figure this guy out after he won that Golden Rose, and as you mentioned earlier in the day, Katie, in really fast Quokka field, though, this is where we sit. So Jigsaw, unbelievable effort from this horse the last couple of preps. 7 on the bounce, that's what he's looking for. Cabalas, a last start Group 1 winner in a Newmarket, no less. And then Ray Magnerio was over there for the Gold Rush the end of last. Winners of the Quokkas so far, so Overpass, twice a winner for Björn Baker, Joker's Grin for Bernie Miller there last year, her community over the past few years, and here are some of the key contenders.
Yeah, and a lot of our horses here from Sydney, and Cabalas, and down there down south, Jigsaw, Jigsaw, he's just been in such a fine fettle, winning a couple of Group 1s for Cindy Alderson.
When you look at the Quokka, Jigsaw top lining, $3.40, Cabalas second line from a slightly sticky draw, the same with Jigsaw, both go forward horses, $4. Ray Magnerio for Robbie Griffiths, $5. Smooth Chino has 1-6, lost his last start, but is on the up for Indiana Weinart.
One of the riders calling. The gates are back and they're off and they're racing. Magnificent Andy missed the start. Smooth Chino likewise. Jigsaw deep out began brilliantly, and so did Cabalas. Berry firing through at the end of 200. Jettabeel Spy Wire will sit behind them. A length and a half. West Star the same margin. Then Magnificent Andy. He's picked up some ground on the inside of Talk & Co. A length and a half away. Then came Ray Magnerio. Sisu Warrior. Smooth Chino well back in the field. They string right out. Back there as well, Luana Miss, followed by Rope, the minute last of all, Oscar's Fortune, who settled a good 10 lengths from the leader. Jigsaw had taken over for Bates. 550 left to go in the Quokka. Jigsaw pricked his ears up and he leads the way. Cabalas is running second, Spy Wire third. Jettabeel the first to come under pressure. West Star around the outside, followed then by Talk & Co, Magnificent Andy and Ray Magnerio. Further back, Luana Miss. Jigsaw's the leader. Jigsaw by 2. Cabalas battling from Spy Wire down the outside. Look at Ray Magnerio. He's coming at 100 mile an hour. It's Jigsaw. Ray Magnerio flying. Jigsaw's in front. Ray Magnerio dived with Jigsaw. Jigsaw, the last piece of the Quokka puzzle. Jigsaw beats the brilliantly finishing Ray Magnerio, and also right there as well is Talk and Co. Right behind them, Spywire, Sisu Warrior, and then rope them in. Followed further back, Oscar's Fortune, Magnificent Andy, then Smooth Chino, Westar back in the field, Luana Miss, followed home by Cabalas, well back when they'd pulled up, and Genevieve is the...
Incredible. This horse is incredible. That's his 7th big win on the bounce for Cindy Alderson. The older he gets, the better he gets. He travels over to the west, fires out of the gates like a shot out of a gun. And then they go a frenetic tempo and he sticks on like that.
He has a heart as big as himself that he had every right to lay down there and get beaten, but he just fought to the end, and that was just absolutely brilliant. He's just in such a rich vein of form and he loves rolling along. But I said on the corner to Lizzie, he can't keep going. He was running some fast sectionals.
Yeah, I was watching the way that Pike was also riding Ray Magnerio, and he was just being really patient and waiting for him to balance up. And yes, he found the line beautifully, but the fact is he just puts himself in races and he really is able to run at breakneck speeds and still able to find the line strongly. That was an unbelievable performance. I mean, when you look, Katie, this horse is probably life-changing for Cindy Alderson. Like $5 million. She's been able to win 2 Group 1s with him. This is the sort of horse that we all dream of having in our stable. And yes, she's really been able to make every post a winner. This is going to be a beautiful interview. Cindy,
most incredible horse has done it again.
Words just fail me, you know. 7 in a row, 7 years old. There was some kind of synergy to it, so it's just been an amazing trip. I can't thank everybody here enough for looking after me. Simon Miller's been incredibly generous. We sort of had a joke about Dean Lester and I being friends and me being in the accessible room. So I think Dean's with us. Maybe it's a gear change, who knows.
Oh, just fantastic. Tell us the story about this horse.
7 in a row, 7 years old. There was some kind of synergy to it, so it's just been an amazing trip. I can't thank everybody here enough for looking after me. Simon Miller's been incredibly generous. We sort of had a joke about Dean Lester and I being friends and me being in the accessible room. So I think Dean's with us. Maybe it's a gear change, who knows.
Oh, just fantastic. Tell us the